Hey guys, for those of you messaging me about this once again slander from this deported drug trafficker by the name of Oscar El Blue, the reason why I wanted to confront him live about his slander and defamation over the years against me was because I didn't want anybody to say the confrontation was edited, okay? This videographer, because that's really all he is, this wannabe videographer, has spent the last 3 years harassing me and stalking me and putting out defamatory, slanderous content about me on social media, right? So I confronted him in Tapachula, and unfortunately for him, he just made a really big mistake. He paid someone at a publication in Mexico to accuse me of threats and an assault. The video is live. It's there for everyone to see. There was no assault. There was no threats. But he claims that I made a post saying that I would have between 7 and 10 men beat him up. I have never posted that. He said the publication says that my last post states that I would get 7 to 10 men to beat this guy up. Unless he's fabricating evidence, which is a big crime in Mexico, which he's not going to get away with. I already have attorneys on it. I just want to let you know. Mexico, I've been telling you, works a lot different. That's why I was trying to meet with him in Mexico. America has a lot of liberties. In Mexico, you don't have as many liberties. In Mexico, he can't be defaming people the way he's been defaming me for the last 3 years. In Mexico, the publications can't do what they just did. In Mexico, fabricating evidence, such as some of his buddies have done, is a huge crime. One of his buddies in New Jersey fabricated evidence. In Mexico, he'd be in jail for 15 years for doing that. I never made a post saying that anybody was going to beat him up. And again, unless he's fabricating it, which is a big deal in Mexico, the publication is lying. And the reason why they would be lying is because he provided them with false information. Now, the reality of all of this is that I've been exposing his crimes. I've been exposing his embezzlement, his fraud, the way he has been conning American people for the last 3 years. And his way of shutting me up was by putting out a smear campaign against me for 2 years through one of his friends that has a platform on YouTube and social media. So that's the reason why I confronted him in Tapachula. But there's a big difference between me confronting him and expressing my freedom of speech and going nowhere near him. He's the one that actually pushed me when he originally got out of a car, to me either assaulting him or threatening him. I never made any post regarding 7 to 10 men beating him up, again, and unless he's fabricating evidence, which is a big crime in Mexico, he has no way to prove this because I never made such a post. Yet the publication is saying that I threatened this guy on a post. So the publication is going to have to provide this to the authorities because it simply doesn't exist, which will bring it back to obviously this deported drug trafficker by the name of Oscar El Blue, which now we know where to serve him. He will always be in Tapachula chasing the caravans and begging for money. And he will have to face justice, which is ultimately, as he would say, the only word that he knows, what I wanted. I wanted him to face justice. So because he was so humiliated for being confronted about his slander, he just took this to a criminal level. Because there is no such post where I threaten him unless it's fabricated. And the authorities are not dumb. We do have cyber police here in Mexico, and they would easily be able to investigate a fabricated post, which is a big crime here in Mexico. Again, they've gotten away with a lot, as many of you know. One of his buddies on the East Coast fabricated all kinds of evidence, and that's still in their investigation. We have court pretty soon, and hopefully he will be prosecuted for falsifying evidence. But as far as Oscar, who has, a terrible criminal background. He will be investigated for not only, first we're going to have to go after the newspapers. I already have attorneys on it. Right now they are writing out the communication with the newspaper, because the newspaper will have to prove that I made such a post where I threatened him. And they just have to make stuff up. They just have to make stuff up, basically. They have to make stuff up because if you guys watch the video, no, I never assaulted him, and no, I never threatened him. The only thing I did was question him as to why he called me a prostitute. I questioned him as to why he lies to Steve Bannon. I questioned him as to why he stole $6,300 from American patriots. And now we're going to have to get also the Mexican IRS involved, because there's a video where he takes full responsibility for those $6,300, taking all liability away from Anthony Owedo, which means he would have had to pay taxes here in Mexico, which we all know he did not. So again, my attorneys are going after the publication for now, and once the publication is unable to provide obviously the evidence of this alleged post of me threatening him, this is going to automatically bring him into the case, and then we'll be able to take this up in a court, which is what I've been wanting to do for the last 3 years since he started his attacks, his criminal harassment, his cyberbullying, his slander, his defamation on social media, either through himself or through his associate, Cindy Tamales Gomez, as that some of you already know. So anyway, I will keep you updated, and pretty soon we'll be at a court. And again, now we know where to serve him. We know where he always is, and attorneys are coming after him. And the bottom line is that this will end up getting the exposure that I wanted it to get, because when you don't have anything to fear, you don't fear it being exposed. The bottom line is that the guy will be exposed for being a person who wears two hats, a person who claims to be for Trump and at the same time, gets money from American patriots, while